Welcome back, Funkers. We've got a breaking Funker News Network segment for you, and we don't have many of these. But when something like this happens, we want to get the word out as wide as possible. Now, an absolutely horrendous CCTV camera footage from inside a shop in the town of Aria, Syria's Idlib province from October 20th, 2021, shows backpack-laden school children seeking refuge from incoming Syrian regime artillery when suddenly one of the high-explosive rounds impacts directly in front of the shop, sending deadly shrapnel into the group of civilians. Now, this event was a part of a coordinated artillery strike across multiple areas in the city by Assad's regime, and in total, according to social media and Al Jazeera reports, 11 civilians were killed. As the dust settles in the video, 3 bodies can be seen on the ground. One is of an already dead child, another will be dead before the video finishes, and a third appears to be a boy of approximately 10 years of age, writhing in agony. He's painting the floor with his blood while he drags himself away from his peers. And his lower leg appears to be stripped of all flesh, and his foot remains attached only by skin and maybe bone. At a couple points in the video, he checks his gruesome injury before balling up into the filthy, nasty floor that he's laying onto, really just awaiting his fate. But at the very end of the video, there's a little bit of light. You can see him crawling towards a rear exit, and my only hope is that he found some kind of support. Now, this isn't a fluke occurrence in Syria. Rather, it's a perpetual hell that has repeated itself daily for over a decade. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's primary tactic throughout the war against his own people has been a blanket punishment of deadly strikes on civilian residential areas with what seems to be an endless supply of Russian-delivered bombs. And according to an Al Jazeera report, the regime shelling shown in the video resulted in the deaths of 11 civilians, multiple of which are children. The report also indicated that the bombardment may have been retribution for a rebel IED operation which killed 14 Syrian soldiers. I just want to further clarify that. Syrian rebels attacked a legitimate military target, and the Syrian government responded by intentionally killing children as punishment. This strike from Assad's regime is eerily similar to the strike from U.S. forces during the Afghanistan withdrawal, which killed a family. U.S. leadership took accountability for this strike, which was and still is a small and ineffective band-aid for those that lost their loved ones, but the U.S. also only took accountability after pressure from the media. Regardless, these strikes were abhorrent, and accountability needs to happen across. Now, in a note from us, this is a heartbreaking video to watch, and we draw a line on innocent kids of any culture being killed. It's not good to look at, folks. Funker 530's mission is to bring to light topics in a factual way that are oftentimes underrepresented in mainstream media. It is not, nor will it ever be our goal to be a gore site. Yes, in some cases there are some graphic scenes in the videos we post, but that's done in an effort to show people what our veterans and first responders are exposed to on a daily basis and what they have to deal with. Our goal is to help the general public understand the gravity of the situations those who serve have to live through and have to live with. Along those same lines, when you hear of veteran suicide or officers dealing with PTSD, there can be a sliver of understanding now based on what we post of what they may have had to go through that caused it. In a positive light, one of the only Syria-based humanitarian relief organizations that we'll recommend to support is Syria Relief. Syria Relief is one of the leading Syria-focused charities in the world, providing life-saving and life-changing support to millions of Syrians every year through emergency interventions, providing medical facilities, food, clean water, shelter, orphan support, protection, and education. Folks, I want to thank you for watching. The only thing that I can ask from you is that you make sure that this video gets seen. That's going to be it for this episode, folks. It's a short one, but it's a heavy one. I'm Ronnie. Stay informed.